This
I keep
conference
talking.
will now be
I
recorded.
don't encourage that. So it's a kind of interactive session. So you have to talk, I have to talk, and hence we'll have some understanding whether you are able to understand or not. Also, in case if you have any questions, feel free to ask the questions. No worries on that. Okay. So let's wait for 5 more minutes to intro of others. Like anybody else can raise hand and introduce yourself. At least I need a confirmation whether you are able to hear me properly or not. In case if you have any challenges with GoToMeeting tool, probably I can help you out. So I hope everyone wear headphones. Are you directly using? You can directly use laptop speakers and mic as well, but I prefer headphones. At least you ping me in the chat, so that way also it is the confirmation for me. I think I already spoke to I think Hari, I guess Hari, and Deepak also replied. So I want others to ping on the chat. I hope you have some access, whether you are able to hear me or not. Okay, I got confirmation from Divya. Thank you, Divya. Gangadhar also, yes. Okay. Anybody else? Satya, Surya. Surya, yes, he also okay. And what about Satya? Yeah, I see two Satyas here. I hope they are both same. Okay, fine. At least I got some majority answers. Like guys, in case if you still have any queries, so please reach out to Career Bridge IT Services so that they would help you in case of if you're still not able to hear my voice. I hope rest all good with my voice. Okay, now move on. So first let me share my desktop. Okay, give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. This my notepad is going on installation. Just give me 1 more minute. Okay, now I can share. Yeah, so when I ask question, so please do respond in the chat. I hope you are able to see my desktop. Is it? Yes or no? Okay. Please do respond on the chat box, guys, if you are able to see my desktop.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Okay. Cool. Okay. I hope like if anybody joined bit late, like I quickly introduce myself again. Yeah, this is Murthy. My name is Murthy. I have like 20+ years of IT experience. Okay, I'm a Java architect. So that's about my profile. And regarding the training experience, I dealt with like more than 500 batches, both offline and online. That's about myself. Okay, coming to the course. So what is this course meant for? Uh, yeah, I got some couple of requirements for different technologies. Like, for example, so nowadays, if anybody wants to get jobs or get an opportunity in the IT field, we have plenty of technologies. You might be confused with what technologies we supposed to learn, right? That confusion will be there initially. Even me also faced that kind of problem. But anyway, luckily or unluckily, I entered into Java platform, and before learning Java, I almost learned all the languages. You believe me? I learned many of the languages, but finally I settled in Java. But now I have more than 20 plus years of experience, and I can guide and I can suggest. So, uh, what to learn, at least. I still recommend Java because don't feel that because I'm in Java, hence I'm suggesting Java. No, generally for every programming language, there will be some pros and cons. Okay, so probably I'm sorry, actually I didn't talk about your education background. So I'm hoping like you all finished your either BTechs or bachelor degree or masters. I'm hoping that. Okay, so definitely you heard about some different programming languages like if you start with Basic, Pascal, Fortran, right, COBOL. These are all the old programming languages, and they all come under procedural oriented programming languages. Okay, procedural oriented. Okay, right. Procedural oriented programming languages. Oh my God. Uh, so under this, actually, whatever I mentioned, like Pascal, COBOL, C also. Definitely, you all learn about the C programming language, right? Similarly, C++ also. Of course, but C++ is a different kind of a programming language. It is not only belong to procedural oriented programming language, it is also belong to object oriented language as well. So we'll talk about what is object oriented language slowly. Okay, so you come across all these programming languages, but definitely every programming language it has its own lifetime. Definitely no language will be there forever. See, for example, my olden days actually people many of the you know people used to work with the C programming. But do you believe if anybody is writing on the projects or applications in C programming now? Anybody believe that?
No,
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 because it is outdated. Because nobody used to C. But believe me, even the Unix operating system is completely built with C. Yes, that is true. But still, nowadays, actually, if anybody asks you, if anybody wants to build any software applications, nobody use C. So like that, every programming language will have some lifespan. But coming to Java, I already told you that I started my career with Java, but still Java is still going on. That's the beauty and the power of Java. Okay, so that is the reason. And also in future, Java has more future, right? That is the reason I still recommend whoever wants to enter into IT, I would still encourage to learn Java. The majority of the people will, scare about this language, right? Java is very big. I mean, it's a very big one. Can I learn or can I do programming with Java? So don't worry. So as long as you know or you have the zeal to learn any platform, any language, definitely we can. It's not a rocket science. Okay. So I will help you on the learning part, and so we'll start with very basic steps, and we'll reach to the next level. I mean, to the advanced level, we'll go ahead, move on. But definitely, if you do not have any programming knowledge earlier, don't worry. Probably you need much more, practice. Practice is required. Otherwise, if you're already familiar with any one of the programming languages, definitely you can learn other programming languages as well. So, okay, coming to the topic, actually, okay, these are the procedural oriented languages and which are completely outdated. Now, the other category of languages what we have as on today is object oriented programming languages. Okay. So in this category, you can mention C++, Java, Python, C Sharp, right? Scala, or whatnot, like maybe the entire .NET you can mention. Like, and the .NET is a platform again. In this platform, again, you have VB.NET, VC.NET, C Sharp. These are all the different programming languages, right? So all these programming languages come under object-oriented programming languages category. So now the IT industry is completely occupied with the object-oriented programming language. No more procedural-oriented programming languages. So hence we all need to understand about first the basic core concepts of object-oriented programming language. Why this object-oriented programming is so popular nowadays, and what is not there in the procedural, hence it is completely wiped off, right? So we need to understand that part. So even we have these many object-oriented programming languages, I still refer Java only, because Java is a object-oriented programming language which is made from other object-oriented languages like C++. Before Java, the C++ is already there. So they took the best features from 3 or 4 object-oriented, like Ada. Ada is also one of the object-oriented languages those days. So they took like the best features from these object-oriented programming language, and they have created Java. So hence the Java is called a simple object-oriented programming language. Okay. It's very simple programming language. It doesn't have more features like C++. Okay, for example, I already mentioned that you need to understand about the object-oriented programming concepts. In shortcut, actually, it is called OOP, meaning like object-oriented programming. Okay, first of all, you need to understand about the basic concepts of OOP. So under this OOP, actually, there are 4 buzzwords you need to understand. Okay, what are those buzzwords? Data abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Okay, these are the 4 buzzwords which you will hear from object-oriented programming. So first you need to understand and digest these concepts first. Once you have some good understanding about these, and then we will jump on to the actual programming language, and then how do we implement these concepts? We'll try to learn step by step. Okay, so I'm hoping like everybody able to hear my voice, and anybody have still any questions like whatever I discussed till this point. If still anybody have any questions, so please ping in chat. In case if you don't have any questions, yeah, you can say no also, either yes or no answer from each one of you, so that I would understand whether you get it or not. Okay, I only see one response from Surya. Thank you, Surya. Anybody else? Okay, so meaning like if no responses, I would assume that no questions. Okay, cool. Okay, so now let's talk about object-oriented concepts, but not in depth of it. Like we'll try to learn the high level definition of all these concepts first. First of all, in case if you want to build any application, okay, and also guys, because you are not talking, hence my assumption is like at least you have some the basic fundamentals of these programming languages. Okay, so that's the reason actually I do encourage always um, conversations, interactive always I do encourage at least for few days, so that I would understand about each one of you, and so that I can plan my content accordingly. That's the reason actually I'm forcing you guys to talk. Fine. So for example, in case if I took like a C programming language, okay, C programming language, and I want to build an application using C. So how do I do that? So for example, I got a requirement of the bank. For bank, I want to design some features. Like for generally, we all know about the bank, and we all know like what sort of uh, operations the bank people will do. Simple example: the deposit and withdraw. Correct? Simple deposit functionality and withdraw functionality. Generally, these are the basic ones. So in case if I want to create an application of these features using C, then immediately what I do? Okay, I'll create a deposit is one of my method. I'll create like this. Okay, maybe I'll give some return type of my method, and I'll keep this smaller case. And maybe I want to deposit some amount, like I will key in some amount like this, and I will write my implementation inside. Whatever you want to write, you write it inside. This is called the method signature, right? The same even applies to withdraw also. So this is the model, the way we used to create all the applications using procedural oriented programming languages. Not only C, you take any programming language, either COBOL or C or basic, you should do something like this only. That is the reason. This is a procedure, right? This is called a procedure. Hence, it is called procedural oriented programming languages. So they have their own drawbacks actually. Procedure in the sense like once for example, I'm creating an application. I already use a deposit method in one of implementation. I cannot use the same method again because I already used. For example, I'm Murthy. So no one will have the same name Murthy again in the procedure methodology. So method name should be unique. So that's the one of the biggest limitation in procedural oriented programming. Okay. And similarly, when I declare any variable, right? For example, int a equal to 10 or 12, like this. Like this is the variable. If you declare this variable maybe outside of the method, something like this, then this variable is globally visible to every method. Any method can change that variable globally, which is also very dangerous, because if you take any application, the variable, so what is variable here? For example, if you take this line, this is the variable, this is the value associated, and this is the data type. So we will talk about what are the data type and all once we jump onto the Java. Okay, so uh, this is the biggest disadvantage in the procedure oriented. Anybody can change the value. I'll change the a value with 100, and somebody will change that value to 200. Nobody knows like what value of a at any point of time. That's the reason. That is other challenge in the procedural oriented programming. So like that, we have some couple of challenges how to address, how to, because the variable value or the variable is the most important aspect of the application. We have to protect. For example, I have a bank account. Okay, I deposit some money. So obviously, should I or am I interested to share my account details to everyone? Yes or no?
No.
That is my confidential information. I don't want to share. Correct. I don't want to. So that is the reason even the application also, application will have a lot of variables. So each variable should have their own value with some protection. The protection or security is very, very important. If that is not getting through some programming methodology, so obviously that will fail. So that is the reason in every technology, the new languages will come up and the people will try to use that language to build the languages. And after some point of time, the people will realize, okay, what are the pros and cons of that programming language? And then finally they would say that, hey, so it is not good for this, it is good for that. That way actually people will, you know, give some pros and cons of that. That would happen for every programming language. That is the reason initially I told you that no language is, we can say that, you know, it is superior than anything else. We can't say that. Right. So those are the, you know, kind of methodologies we follow in the procedure oriented. Now coming to the object oriented. Now what kind of benefit we are getting in the object oriented, and for what reason people are completely migrating to object oriented? We need to understand that part. So whatever I discussed here, for example, I have defined one method with some deposit name. I cannot use that name again in the procedure, but in the object oriented you can. You can have that name n number of times. Okay, that limitation is not there. Similarly, the global variable concept is completely gone in the object oriented. A complete protection or security is provided to the variable. So that is what actually concepts of the data abstraction and encapsulation deal with the providing security to the variables. Okay. But anyway, so these two concepts probably we'll talk later. I don't want to talk much more on that. So first let's talk about the very high level details of the Java programming language. As I already mentioned, the Java is a simple programming language, right? Simple object oriented programming language. And this is the language created by James Gosling. So he is the author of Java. See, the invention of Java, if you probably, how many of you, go through the story about the Java, the intro of this, really surprised. So the actually initially the Gosling got a requirement that he want to build a programming language Using that programming language, he want to interact with two different electronic devices. So that's his initial requirement. What does it mean? For example, I have a air conditioner. That is one of the electronic device. The purpose of air conditioning is like, to provide AC, right? Cool air. That's it. I have a washing machine. That is another electronic device. The purpose of that is to wash the clothes. So both these electronic device has their individual, you know, responsibilities. There is no commonality between these two electronic devices. Each one has its own unique tasks, unique features. But he wants to build communication between these two electronic devices. Even they are different devices, he wants to build some communication. Probably the washing machine will should send a signal to air conditioner, and air conditioner will take that signal and probably the respond back to the washing machine, hey, I have received, something like that. That is the initial requirement of the Gosling. He created, for that purpose only, he created this programming language Java. Okay, so how did he invented this programming language? So how is it possible? First of all, how can we uh, that is the reason this Java is called platform independent programming language. Platform independent programming language, because irrespective of the platform, whether it is a washing machine or air conditioner, you can still use Java programming language to send signals between these two devices. That is very powerful feature. I'll tell you how. For example, I'm in the Windows platform. Okay, my laptop is installed with the Windows operating system. Also, I have C, maybe C compiler is also there with me. I'm hoping most of you have written some C programming, C programs, at least some addition of two numbers. Imagine, don't imagine like complex functionality, at least A plus B. I'm hoping you have written that sort of programs. Is my understanding correct? In C, I'm asking, or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir,
Cool.
but a long time back.
Yeah, very long time. So I don't ask questions. Don't worry. So definitely you might gone through. So because in degree, bachelors or in or engineering graduates, definitely C is the mandate programming language. Everybody has to face that phase. Okay. So in Windows, I have a prompt, C prompt. Okay. Now I have written a simple program, test.c. So now I want to execute this. Generally, even in my time also, I used Turbo C. Turbo C is the IDE. It's a very blue screen where I used to enter the code, and some function buttons will be there to compile and to execute, and all the stuff will be there. But currently now also the people using the same Turbo C, I guess, in order to write the programs. Okay. So, but anyway, I'll repeat here. So I have created some program test.c. Okay. So the test. What is there in the test.c? Probably the same example, addition of two different numbers. Okay, cool. So now I want to execute this. I want to see the output. How do I do that? First of all, you need to compile this program. What is compilation? Because test.c is, I can understand what I have written in the test.c. It is understandable to the user, but not for machine. Machine don't understand what is test.c. It has to be compiled. It has to be converted into machine understandable code. That process is called compilation. So once you compile, and there are some kind of steps will happen, and finally what it does is it will create this file test.exe, which means like a executable file. Once this file is created, you can directly execute that. Okay, you go to the same C prompt and you can key in that file test.exe and enter. Then automatically you will see the result. This is the way we execute C programs um, from command prompt or from Turbo C editor. Okay, fine. I see the output. Maybe it might ask you what are the parameter, what are the values to key in. Okay, I enter 2 and 2. Probably it will enter 4 because this is the program for to add two different numbers. Okay, that is the output I'm expecting. It will give you. Fine. This is the way you will compile your program in the Windows platform. But now I move to Unix, other platform. So either Linux or Unix or Solaris or Mac. These are all the different operating system like Windows operating system, right? So now if you are in the Linux platform, generally the prompt will be something like this, hash symbol or dollar symbol will be there. So anybody heard about the Linux? I'm just asking, have you heard about this Linux platform? Yes or no?
Just we heard, sir, but not in detail.
Yeah, it's like Windows operating system. Windows is an operating system, right? So similarly, Linux also another operating system. Okay, fine. So because this test.exe file, I can able to see the output in the Windows platform. The same way, the same test.exe file I have copied here in the Linux, and I'll press enter. Can I see output here in the Linux platform? Probably most of you said that you just heard about it. Hence, I will tell you the reason behind this. Because this is another operating system, but you copied the same exe file in the other operating system and you are trying to execute that. Can you execute? The answer is no. So you cannot execute an exe file between operating systems. The reason is this test.exe file is compiled under Windows operating system. So the kind of format this file has only known to this Windows operating system, but not to any other operating system. Okay. So this is what actually called as the portability. 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 Okay, portability means like once I have created any output file that need to be executed across all the platforms, all the operating systems without making one single change. If that is the kind of output is getting from any programming language, that's a wonderful language. Okay, but now coming to here, the test.exe, whatever you have created here, if you enter, it's not execute, can't be executed because I told you reason, right? The test.exe is compiled under Windows, hence this test.exe will have the whatever logic you have implemented plus this operating system related information is also that platform related information is also will be there along with the test.exe. Hence, we cannot execute it. Okay. So that is the reason. How do I execute now? Again, you have to take the same test.c here. Okay. Again, you have to whatever steps you have followed, you again compile here and again execute. That is the way you have to do that. But once you compile, maybe in the Windows operating system while compiling, I don't see any issues. but you might see some issues here. Never know. Okay, those kind of challenges will be there for all the programming languages except Java. But now I will come to the Java. So for example, in the Java, how do I execute? Okay, same C prompt. I have created a program called test.java. So generally for all the Java programs, I give a .java extension. Okay, so I have given test.java, and even here also what I need to do is I have to compile first. You compile, but once you compile, what will be generated here? That's the question. Does it also create a test.exe here? No, it will create a test.class. That's the outcome after compilation. Okay, so what is this .class file? Who can understand this? Does operating system understand about this file? Or does Windows understand about this? Or does Linux understand about this? No, none of them can understand what is this file. But who can understand? So that is the reason this guy, Gosling, what he created is, he created another engine. He created another engine. That engine is called JVM. What is JVM? Java Virtual Machine. He created this engine. So what is the purpose of this engine? The purpose of this engine is, this engine will understand what is this. Okay. So that is the reason, if you install this JVM in Windows or here, you can execute this. The same JVM, if I install here, definitely here also I can execute test class file. I don't mind what is there in the class file. I can still execute this because that engine I have installed in the Linux platform. See, look at it. So once I have this engine ready in any of the operating system, without compiling again my original program, I can still able to execute that, which is a wonderful feature. So this is the reason this programming language is called platform independent programming. So that is what actually he created. That is the reason, using this programming language, he can communicate between two different electronic devices. Okay, I think I hope whatever I just discussed here, you guys understood. Is my understanding correct?
Sir, is JVM is supported by all the OS?
Uh, so who is this? Is it Hari? Oh,
Surya,
sorry,
sir.
Surya. Surya, yeah. Tell me, Surya.
Is JVM is supported by all the OS?
Yes, all the OSs. Good question. Because that is the reason for JVM. Actually, if you download JVM, okay, let me show you JDK downloads. For example, the latest is JDK 17. Okay, now look at it. If you want to download this is called JDK, means Java Development Kit. So look at it. All the platforms. These are all the different platforms. This is Mac OS. Okay, this is Windows 64-bit. Like that, for every operating system, uh, the JDK is available. So with respect to whatever operating system you are using, you can simply install it and your job is done. I hope you got my answer. Right, Surya?
Yes, sir. Please and share us a procedure of downloading the platform and
Yeah.
S145 IdeaPad Lenovo, sir. i5 generation.
Uh-huh.
I want to know the procedure of downloading this software in my laptop, sir.
Yeah. What is your laptop operating system?
S S145 Lenovo IdeaPad.
Yeah. But that's the hardware, right? But your operating system will be Windows, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it is a Windows, definitely earlier days Windows 32-bit operating systems and 64-bit operating system. This is the scenario till Windows 7. But now we entered into Windows 11 also
11.
came up. 11 also
Yes, sir.
came,
Yes.
right? From Windows 10 and 11, all the operating systems are Windows 64-bit only.
Yeah.
So in case if you want to install, like probably you can choose this installer. The size of the JDK is like 152.78 MB. You just need to download this and it is an exe file. You one single click will install this JDK in your machine. Installation is very simple. It's not you know too much of that. Okay. Any other questions from anyone? So Hari, Divya, Satya, I think Shrav's, yeah, some of them is again still new. Okay. No issues. Like in case if you have any issues, like you can always ping me. But now coming to the course. Okay, this is a kind of demo. I just want to give you content like how I teach the content. That is the reason I just chosen this topic and I'm trying to explain. But how many of you get this content? I'm not very sure. But anyway, coming to the syllabus. Okay, there are some couple of courses I'm teaching, right? So one is in case if you guys wants to learn about only particularly in any specific platform like Java, I'm talking about, not any other languages. Okay, coming to the course, I'm a full stack developer actually. Okay, I'm a full stack developer. So we have course on the full stack developer also. In case if anybody interested in the full stack development, like they have to learn about the Java. Again in Java, you need to know about like core Java. This is very important, right? And then advanced Java. So and I'll talk about some couple of frameworks. So under frameworks, I'll talk about Spring framework. Okay, and I'll talk about Hibernate framework. I'll talk about web services. So this is completely the backend technologies, right? If anybody wants to learn Java, you have to have some knowledge on all these things. Then only you can crack the interview. Otherwise, it is really tough. Okay, you need to learn about all these things. Okay, so this is only which covers only backend part. In case if you really wants to cover the front end part as well, like the UI, I want to design a web application, so I need to learn about the HTML, CSS, and some sort of JavaScript technologies as well. Okay, so there are so many JavaScript engines or frameworks in the market, right? Probably you heard about React.js, uh, AngularJS, EXT.js, Backbone.js, Vue.js, whatnot. There are many JavaScript engines are there. So nowadays, actually, these are all different frameworks available in the market. Okay, if you compare all these JavaScript frameworks, I would say that as per my knowledge and understanding, mostly in the industry, like React JS and Angular JS are there. Mostly competitive programming languages. But these JavaScript frameworks are meant for to build the user interfaces, UI side. So I want to encourage to learn React JS. So compared to Angular JS, React JS is more powerful. Okay. So now this is created by Facebook guys, whereas the Angular JS is created by the Google. Okay. So nowadays, actually, if you want to build your profile as a full stack developer, you have to learn about these technologies. Or if you want to build your career with only core Java, right? Probably you can learn only core Java as well. Okay. You want to learn the complete Java platform, all the Java technologies, wherein I will cover all these things. Okay. Maybe I'm not very sure. Like, some people might be working in the testing platform. Okay. Now I want to tell you one more thing. See, I am telling about the Java, right? Java means like it is not only specific to one single platform. Now Java is everywhere. If you go to the databases like Oracle, PL, there are some couple of databases are there, right? Like the MS SQL database or MySQL database or Oracle or Sybase. These are all different databases. Wherever you go, Java will be there. Similarly, testing platform. If anybody wanted to interested in, coming to the testing platform, you all need to again still you have to write some scripts to automate some use cases. Even there also you have to use the Java. Okay, that's the reason wherever you go, the Java is there nowadays. That is the reason Java is more powerful language nowadays. So that is the reason I'm encouraging you guys to learn Java. So that is the reason based on your requirement and your whatever expectations you have to enter into the IT, you choose the respective flavors. Okay, but normally, typically, in case I'll give you number of days also here. In case if you want to learn about this complete Java platform, including frameworks and all, so I will cover all these things in 50 working days or 50 hours. 50 hours to talk about all these things, exclusively Java and all. And in case if you add this React JS also, probably 15 more hours. Yeah, 12 to 15 hours will count here. Okay, so that's the number of hours to learn all these courses. Also, I'll be teaching every day 1 hour. Okay, that 1 hour will conclude, like, what is that 1 hour, like, is it morning or evening, maybe based on, like, your comfort time zones, like, will probably will come up with one timeline. Okay, so that is one thing. And generally uh, we'll record these sessions also. Okay, record these sessions, and in case if you don't attend any specific session, like, probably you can go through that recorded video, and you can come up to the speed for the next subsequent lesson. And I would encourage all of you to please do exercise, because I will give a lot of exercises. And also one more thing, like, all my sessions are not like a PPT kind of presentation, because this is demo, hence I'm explaining on the notepad. So most of my sessions are completely practical oriented. That is important, right? Maybe theory, I can read a book and I can get the knowledge, but practical experience, you don't get it. So as long as you do practice or more exercises, then only you will get confidence. Till then, you never get it, definitely. So hence, actually, maybe during the core Java sessions, probably theoretical sessions will be there, but from advanced Java till web services, lot of exercises will be doing. And I would want you to do the same exercises you practice, and I'll ask you on the next day. And in case if you stuck somewhere, I can help you. So all these things will be there. So mostly what I want to say is, like, in all my sessions, maybe 20% theory and 80% practical. This is the way of my teaching. So once you complete all this course, like I hope, I'm assuming, like definitely you will come out with some good experience and good exposure to programming as well. That I will make sure, in case whatever I have given exercise, making sure you complete all those things. Okay, so and most on the top of that, mentioned in the beginning also, I'll repeat that. So I would encourage to have some interactive sessions. Okay, most of my students are also um, generally US, UK, and these folks. I do encourage to talk. They used to talk. Then only I would understand so whether you understood the content or not. I do encourage that. So please, you also raise questions. Okay, that is always good for you and me, but generally not during the class. The last 5 to 10 minutes I will allocate for the QA point of view. So during that time you can ask any questions, and mostly all my classes will be from Monday to Friday, weekly, 5 days. Okay, no classes on Saturday, Sundays. In case if I miss any class during these days, like probably I will announce to have sessions on the weekends. Otherwise, mostly no sessions on the weekends. So this is all about my course curriculum and structure. So now questions.
Sir, will all these sessions goes through online or offline mode?
Uh, yeah, both are there. Both are there. In case that timeline is not matching with because I'm also working, right? So mostly I do have all of my sessions in the morning time, morning 6 to 7, 7 to 8, and 8 to 9. These are the 3 slots I used to have in the morning time. In case if there is any batch formed in the evening time, probably we'll decide on that, either 6 to 7 or 7 to 8. Probably uh, I will come up that timeline maybe later. So
Sir,
if
morning 6
you
to 9 is very comfortable for my timings. Is
uh,
it available in offline mode?
yeah, that is also there. In case a good amount of people are there, like definitely, yeah, definitely. Either Hemant or these people will tell you about that. Yeah, offline, that is also there. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
no problems. Any other questions? No questions. No questions means you don't get the content or don't get the content. No worries, guys. Like even if it is a very basic question, also it's fine, because this is the first interaction, right? Like definitely you should be having a lot of questions. Feel free. Okay, I'll give like 2 more minutes.
Sir, about course fee, all this, who will discuss with us among
Yeah,
this?
I think from Career Bridge IT Services will give you all the details maybe later. Course details and fee structures, they will talk. Okay, if you have any questions regarding the syllabus and any technology related, yeah, probably you can raise question here.
I will discuss all those after joining the course, sir.
Okay, no problem. Give the last 1 minute. Okay, looks like no questions, guys. Thank you. Thanks everyone for attending this demo. Like, so please let us know in case of if anybody interested. So please update the Hemant or career IT guys. Thank you all, guys. See you soon.